In September 2000, Blockbuster laughed Netflix out of their office. Netflix had offered to sell itself for $50 million. The Blockbuster CEO called it a joke. Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy 10 years later. Netflix is now worth over $300 billion. That is just the first story. Netflix, the DVD company that accidentally invented streaming. Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph founded Netflix in 1997. They mailed DVDs to your house. No late fees, no driving, no Blockbuster. By 2000, they tried to sell the company for $50 million. Blockbuster's CEO thought the offer was a joke and declined. Netflix kept mailing DVDs. In 2007, Netflix added a streaming feature as a free bonus for subscribers. Nobody treated it as the main product, not even Netflix. But broadband internet was getting faster every year. By 2010, streaming was the main product and DVDs were fading. By 2013, Netflix was making its own shows. House of Cards was the first major original series. The entire season dropped at once, inventing binge-watching as a cultural habit. Other studios laughed at the idea of releasing everything simultaneously. Those same studios copied it within 2 years. Blockbuster's last remaining store is in Bend, Oregon. It is now a tourist attraction and rents novelty merchandise. Netflix is now worth over $300 billion. Hulu, built to fight. Netflix lost anyway. Hulu was built by the television industry to destroy Netflix. NBC Universal and News Corp launched it together in 2008. The idea was simple: put TV episodes online before Netflix could license them. It worked, briefly. Hulu had next-day episodes from NBC, Fox, and ABC. For a few years, it was the only place to legally stream current television. Then Netflix started spending billions making better original content. Then Disney bought a controlling stake in Hulu in 2019. Now Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus are all owned by the same parent company. The platform built by rivals to fight streaming became part of the streaming empire it feared. That is one of the more poetic endings in this story. Amazon Prime Video, a shopping company, builds a Hollywood studio. Amazon launched Prime Video in 2011 as a free bonus for Prime members. You were already paying for fast shipping. The shows came with it. Most people ignored it for years. Then Amazon started spending seriously on content production. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, The Boys, Rings of Power. Amazon spent $1 billion on Rings of Power alone. One show, $1 billion. A record for a single television season. Amazon does not publicly release its viewer numbers. Nobody outside Amazon knows exactly how big Prime Video really is. But it has over 200 million Prime members globally across all services. Every single one of them has access to Prime Video whether they use it or not. That is a distribution scale nobody else on this list can match. You do not need to win streaming when you give it away with every purchase. Spotify. Piracy dies the moment streaming is easier. In 2007, music piracy was at its peak. LimeWire, BitTorrent, and Napster had taught an entire generation to steal music. The industry sued individual people and lost the argument anyway. Spotify launched in Europe in 2008. It offered every song ever recorded, on demand, for free with ads. The logic was simple. Why steal something you can stream instantly? Piracy collapsed in every market Spotify entered. Spotify launched in the United States in 2011. It now has over 600 million users and 240 million paying subscribers. The music industry spent 15 years fighting piracy with lawsuits and moral arguments. One Swedish startup solved it by making legal streaming more convenient than stealing. The artists still argue about the royalty rates. At $0.003 per stream, they have a point. Twitch. Strangers watching strangers play games. In 2011, a website called Justin.tv launched a gaming-only spin-off called Twitch. The concept sounded absurd. Watch other people play video games, live, with chat. Within 2 years, Twitch had more peak live viewers than most cable news channels. Amazon acquired Twitch in 2014 for $970 million. Today, Twitch streams over 1 million hours of live content every single day. It is not just gaming anymore. Cooking streams, music sessions, artist drawing, people just talking. People watch other people do anything now, in real time, with thousands of strangers commenting at once. The word parasocial did not exist in common usage before Twitch. It is in every media article now. The next platform tried to charge for what Twitch gives away for free. YouTube Premium, the free platform, asks you to pay. YouTube has been free since 2005. 2 billion people use it every month. In 2015, YouTube launched a paid subscription tier called YouTube Red. No ads, background play, offline downloads. The reaction from most users was some version of, "Why would I pay for that?" YouTube rebranded it as YouTube Premium in 2018. By 2024, it passed 100 million paying subscribers. That sounds impressive until you remember 2 billion people use YouTube for free. YouTube Premium is what happens when a free platform tries to extract extra money from people who already have it all. Some people pay, most people do not. Disney Plus, the most powerful library in one place. Disney launched Disney Plus in November 2019 with a very simple argument. Everything Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and Disney under one roof. $7 a month. Analysts predicted it would hit 60 to 90 million subscribers by 2024. It hit 100 million in 16 months. That is the fastest any streaming platform has ever scaled. Netflix took a decade to reach 100 million subscribers. Disney Plus did it before its second birthday. The pandemic helped. Having The Mandalorian on launch day helped more. Disney Plus is now one of the biggest streaming platforms on Earth. And Disney also owns Hulu and ESPN Plus. The entertainment industry is quietly consolidating into 3 or 4 companies. Disney intends to be one of them. HBO Max, the greatest library, the most confusing name. HBO has the greatest television library ever assembled. The Sopranos, The Wire, Game of Thrones, Succession. In 2020, Warner Bros. Launched HBO Max to bring it all into one place. Then Warner Media merged with Discovery. HBO Max was renamed Max in May 2023. Some content was removed quietly to cut costs and take tax write-offs. Entire shows that had been produced were deleted from the platform before anyone watched them. Films that cost tens of millions to make were shelved permanently. The name changed, the library shrank, the price went up. Max still has exceptional content and genuine prestige value. But the rebranding happened so many times and so fast that the platform lost its identity. If you ask 10 people what streaming service has Succession, you will get 4 different answers. That is not a good sign. Apple TV Plus. Zero library, somehow survives. Apple launched Apple TV Plus in November 2019 with almost no content. 1 or 2 shows, nothing else. Netflix had 15 years of content. Disney had 100 years of intellectual property. Apple had Ted Lasso and a documentary about elephants. Apple TV Plus cost $4.99 a month, cheaper than almost everything else. Apple also gave free subscriptions to anyone who bought a new Apple device. The strategy was simple. Get people in the door, win awards, build slowly. Ted Lasso won 11 Emmy Awards. Severance became one of the most discussed shows of 2022. Apple TV Plus has never disclosed its subscriber numbers. The world's most valuable company entered streaming last, spent the least on marketing, and seems to be doing fine. That is either a genius strategy or something that only works when you have hundreds of billions in reserve. Probably both. The companies that arrived even later had no such cushion. Peacock and Paramount Plus. 10 years too late. Peacock launched in July 2020. Paramount Plus launched in March 2021. These are the streaming services from NBC Universal and CBS respectively. The TV networks that dominated American entertainment for 50 years. Both arrived about 10 years after Netflix had already won the market. They had libraries, they had brands, they had existing audiences. What they did not have was a compelling reason to be separate from everything else you already subscribed to. Both platforms are still losing significant money. Peacock lost over $2.5 billion in 2022 alone. Both are being discussed as merger targets or acquisition candidates. Legacy media companies spent a decade calling Netflix a fad. Then they spent another decade trying to copy it with worse results. The lesson is the same one Blockbuster learned. Arriving late is not just late, it is often fatal. The streaming wars for live, Twitch versus YouTube versus Kick. Live streaming is the one corner of streaming Netflix cannot touch. Twitch dominates it, but 2 challengers are serious. YouTube Gaming has the advantage of 2 billion existing users. Many creators now stream on YouTube instead of Twitch for the bigger audience. Kick launched in 2023 with dramatically higher revenue splits for streamers. Twitch gives creators 50%. Kick offers up to 95%. Several major streamers moved to Kick immediately. The live streaming market has no clear winner yet. It is the one part of streaming still genuinely unsettled. The death of password sharing. 50 million new subscribers. For years, Netflix tolerated password sharing. They even called it a positive thing in 2016. Love is sharing a password, their own marketing once said. By 2022, Netflix estimated over 100 million households were using accounts they did not pay for. That is nearly half their subscriber base, paying nothing. In May 2023, Netflix banned password sharing in the United States. The internet was furious. Cancellations spiked in Spain. Netflix added 50 million paying subscribers in the 18 months that followed. It was the fastest subscriber growth the company had seen in years. Every other platform immediately started planning the same crackdown. The moment Netflix proved enforcement worked, the era of shared logins was effectively over. Disney Plus and Max followed within the year. More will come after that. The future, we are rebuilding. Cable TV without noticing. In 2010, people cut their cable bills and subscribed to Netflix instead. Cable cost $80 to $100 a month. Netflix cost $8. Everyone called it the future of television. In 2025, the average person subscribes to 4.2 streaming services. Netflix alone costs up to $23 a month. Disney Plus Hulu plus Max, plus Peacock plus Apple TV, plus Paramount plus adds up fast. You are paying $70 to $90 a month for streaming. You are watching on multiple apps with different logins and separate search functions. You are missing shows because they are on the one service you do not subscribe to. This is cable television, rebuilt from the ground up over 15 years. The only difference is you now have better shows and worse channel surfing. The companies that sold you freedom from cable have quietly become cable. They are just called something else now. And at least cable never canceled a show mid-season without finishing the story. Every platform on this list wants to be on the screen in your pocket. The phone that changed what that screen even means is on the screen. Every iPhone generation explained. Go watch it.